My next door neighbor's cat wants to live with me, and I'm not sure what to do. Sorry this is so long. I live alone and work from home, so I'm at home a lot. My neighbors are out at work or college during the day. They consist of 4 adults, several cats, and 3 dogs. My house is a bit bigger than theirs. I think this is important information, as I suspect it's the reason Pixie prefers it here. In the last few years, Pixie has been a regular visitor to my garden. There are several cats next door, and they all see my garden as theirs. They're all comfortable with me, and I often go outside to pet them and give them treats. Next door knows about this, and I look after the cats for them when they're away. Their cats would occasionally come into my house in the summer when doors and windows were open, and in the winter, I've taken their cats in if one of them got accidentally shut out. I had my own cat in a year ago who didn't mind the male cats but hated the females, so the females rarely came in the house and the males were never here for very long. My cat died last year, and as soon as Pixie realized she could come in without fear of being chased, she's been doing everything she can to set up home here. I told my neighbor as soon as she started coming in regularly, and they said they were fine with it. Pixie would go home for dinner and at night and come back during the day. I spoke to my neighbor numerous times about her being here, and they kept saying it was fine. Gradually, Pixie was spending more and more time here and getting very upset at being sent home, but when I got 2 kittens in August, I thought that would put Pixie off being here. It didn't. I had to tape the cat flap up to stop her getting in and the kittens getting out, but she'd come in through any open door or window and go and hide, so I didn't always know she was here. Eventually, my kittens ripped the tape off the cat flap, and Pixie broke it attacking it to get in, so I replaced it with an expensive flap with selective entry/exit so that Pixie could get out if she snuck in, but the kittens couldn't. Pixie was here more and more, and next door started to get upset about it. I tried to talk to them, but any suggestion of having a conversation was ignored. All communication has been by text. They asked me not to let Pixie in, and I explained that after so long, she was used to being here and would break the cat flap trying to get in if I locked it. I couldn't risk the cat flap being broken and my kittens getting out or other cats getting in. They've got an unneutered male next door who sprays. I always tried to put Pixie out at meal times and at night, but she'd come back in again as soon as she could, get very stressed, and try to hide. I've had to resort to scaring her out of her hiding spots with a vacuum cleaner to put her out at night, as she picks places I can't reach. I have to block the cat flap and shut my cats in a different room at night to stop Pixie from breaking in. She sits outside crying when she can't get in. She sits on the bins under my bedroom window at night crying. One night, it was torrential rain and she was throwing herself at the door trying to get in. I felt horrible. My neighbor has seen for herself what Pixie is like when she knows I'm trying to catch her to put her out. She came to the door when Pixie ran in as I was receiving a delivery and watched me chase her around the house before she got on top of a cupboard I couldn't reach. I've sent them photos of the places I've found her hiding, and I always respond when they ask me to send Pixie home. I've been totally upfront with them and never hidden the fact Pixie is here. I've sent them texts explaining how stressed Pixie is and how difficult it is to keep her out. I've tried to talk to them face to face, but they just keep ignoring me or replying with "please stop letting Pixie in." It's not that easy, and I don't know what to do. They keep Pixie indoors for days at a time, and the minute she's let out, she immediately comes to me. I was away for 2 weeks recently, and Pixie was constantly trying to get into my house. I taped the cat flap up and put my cats in a cattery. I've got cameras covering the back door. She was so happy when I came home. She must be so confused when she can't get in, and it breaks my heart having to scare her to put her out. There's clearly a reason she doesn't want to be at home, and I wish I could have a sensible conversation with next door about it. Pixie came in wearing a tracker this morning. The collar was too tight, it's not quick release, and it looks uncomfortable. I don't know how they think a tracker will change anything. They know Pixie is here. I hate the fact Pixie is stressed. I hate that I can't do anything about it, and I don't know whether to try and talk to my neighbor again or just leave it. My neighbor hasn't replied to any messages I've sent recently about other neighborly things either, which is upsetting, as before this I thought we got on okay. I understand why they're upset. I would be too if my cat left home. I'd be trying to work out why the cat wanted to be elsewhere though, and if I couldn't make the changes needed to keep the cat happy, I hope I'd be able to do what was best for the cat. So, cat people, what do I do? This has been going on for a year, so I'm sure there's plenty I've left out. Have any of you been in my position or in my neighbor's position? What's the best way of approaching this? I just want what's best for Pixie. I have no interest in stealing anyone else's cat, but if she's happy here, she's welcome to stay. /relevant comments. Commenter. It sounds like the cat is unhappy at home, and your neighbor doesn't want to talk about it. You could try one last time to have a calm conversation, explaining that the cat is very stressed and keeps breaking in. Maybe try writing a letter or email? If they still refuse to listen, you may need to set firm boundaries, letting them know you can't keep forcing the cat out if she keeps coming back. If the cat is being neglected or mistreated, you could also contact a local animal welfare group for advice. I hope this can help you a bit. Best of luck. I would also keep a record of the cat's movements just in case you need it in the future. Ops response. The cat isn't being mistreated or neglected. I don't know if she's up to date with vaccinations or flea/worm treatments, and I've had to loosen too tight collars a couple of times, but I don't doubt they care about her. They've got so many animals, and I don't think they realize how stressed the cat is, or maybe they don't want to know. I'll keep letting Pixie do what she wants and see if they say anything. When Pixie is left to her own devices, she's asleep here most of the time and goes out for a bit every so often. I don't think they have any idea how stressful it is constantly trying to chase her out or the changes I've had to make to accommodate her. Thanks for the reply. Update 3 days later. My post didn't get many replies, but thank you to those who offered advice. I don't know whether one of my neighbors saw my previous post, but I got a long text from one of them yesterday asking to come to an amicable solution about Pixie. I was so relieved. I thanked him for reaching out and sent a long text back explaining how persistent Pixie is, how difficult it is keeping her out, and how I've tried so many times to talk to them but have been ignored. His response was not what I expected. He said there was nothing to be said, it's entirely on me to stop her. He won't entertain the idea that Pixie might not like the latest dog, while also telling me she doesn't get on with one of their other cats very well now, which is apparently my fault. Since he asked how persistent she is in trying to get in, I went back through some data and worked out that she tried to get into my house no fewer than 61 times over an 11-day period when I was away recently. I told him, if this is how persistent she is when I'm not here and the cat flap is blocked up with cardboard so she can't see through, imagine how bad it is when I'm home and she can see me. Then add in the battering the cat flap takes when she's trying to get in, and my cat's attacking it back, and maybe he'll begin to understand why this is so difficult. He didn't reply and blocked me, so I guess there won't be an amicable resolution. Second update 2 months later. Brief recap, my neighbor's cat has moved in with me and they're being assy about it. This is also in the UK. Following Mr. Nextdoor blocking me, I stopped trying to chase Pixie out and let her come and go as she pleased. It took a couple of weeks, but she calmed down, became more affectionate, and overall seemed a much happier cat. She still hides when she knows I'm going to bed, as previously I'd do whatever I could to make sure she wasn't in my house overnight, but I let her do what she wants now. Things were quiet for a few weeks, and then I got a message from Mrs. Nextdoor asking about Pixie, as she hadn't seen her. I confirmed she was in my garden and that she comes and goes as she pleases, and I said I was upset at the tension it was causing. There was some polite back and forth, with Mrs. saying there was no tension, and that was it. I got another text from her a week later asking if Pixie was here. I replied, and that was that until last week. Mrs. Nextdoor texted me again asking me to stop letting Pixie into my house. I'm really frustrated by now and told her I'm not repeating myself again. I said I'd even spoken to my vet to see if there was anything I could do, and Pixie is happy doing her thing, and surely that's what's important. To try and keep a long story a bit shorter, she ended up asking if I wanted to take ownership of Pixie. I said I didn't want to, but if that's what they want and Pixie is happy here, then yes, I'll take ownership of her. Mrs. Nextdoor asked me to return Pixie's collar, which had an air tag and dongle for their cat flap on it, and said she'd let her vet know and get the microchip details transferred. So I put the collar back through their letterbox as requested and booked Pixie in with my vet for vaccinations and flea/worm treatment. I took Pixie to my vet, explained the situation, and they called her previous vet for her medical records. Despite Nextdoor agreeing to give me ownership, they've forbidden their vet from releasing Pixie's records and have told the microchip company they don't consent to the details being transferred to me. I've texted Mrs. asking what's going on and haven't had a reply. I have all the messages from her confirming the transfer of ownership to me, her asking for the collar back, and saying she'll let her vet and the microchip company know. Pixie can't get in through their cat flap now without the dongle, and she's wearing a collar I've provided, along with one of my air tags. She's been registered at my vet, had her first vaccination, flea and worm treatment, and I've set up medical insurance. I also paid the £12 transfer fee to get the chip changed, then this happens. My vet says that, based on the messages I have from Nextdoor, as far as they're concerned, Pixie is mine and I have authorization to get treatment for her, but I'm worried about the situation with the microchip. If Nextdoor refuses to cooperate and continues to ignore me, what do I do? I really hoped this was going to be a final happy update, but I can't relax until this is resolved. I feel awkward enough about it all without having this uncertainty hanging over me. Does anyone here work for a microchip company in the UK and can advise me on what to do? Third update 1 week later. I won't go into all the details, but finally, after a bit of back and forth, the neighbors asked me if I wanted to take ownership of Pixie. I don't know whether she thought she was calling my bluff and I'd say no, but I said if that's what she wanted and it was in the best interests of the cat, then of course I would. Things remained civil for a bit after that, but they kept declining my request to transfer the microchip details. I messaged Mrs. Next Door a couple of times and, despite her saying she didn't want to fall out over this, she turned nasty. She did eventually agree to transfer the chip before blocking me, so I now officially have a new cat and next-door neighbors who hate me. I don't feel good about falling out with my neighbors, and I'm sure they're telling anyone who'll listen how I stole their cat. Pixie is happy and settled now, though, and that's all that matters. Top/relevant comments. Commenter. Congrats on your new cat. I hope she's getting along with your other kitties. Ops response. I can't remember if I mentioned it in my previous posts, but she's the grandma of my other 2 cats. My boy annoys her at times, but they generally get on fine, and I see them washing each other and giving each other nose bops. Commenter 2. Congrats on the new cat. Sounds like she chose you, really. It's unfortunate that things got tense with your neighbors, but it seems like you handled it with patience and a level head. At the end of the day, you gave the cat what she clearly wanted, a home where she feels comfortable and safe. Sometimes animals just pick their people, and it's hard for others to accept. Hopefully, things cool off with the neighbors eventually, but either way, your new feline roommate lucked out. How's she settling in? Ops response. She's much calmer and more affectionate now. She still occasionally hides from me when I go to bed, as that's when I used to put her out, but she's not stressed anymore. She's playing a lot more now too. I'm so happy for her. The last few months have been hard on her.